How to sew the circle pouches. This is part of the Christmas Shopaway bag kit, which is available in 4 different Christmas designs. Making the circular pouch. There are enough pieces to make 2 circular pouches. Take all the pieces that you need for just one of the circular pouches because they're made in the same way. Take your zip and the top, front, outer. Place the zip right sides down centrally on top of the top, front, outer, matching the raw edges of the top, front, outer to the edge of the zip tape, just like here, and pin together. Now tack together across the top. Take the top front lining and place this right sides down on top so all the raw edges match and the zip is sandwiched in between. You can see that the top of the zip tape matches the raw edges of the 2 fabric pieces. Make sure they match at either end for a nice neat finish. Then pin together all the way along. Then using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew the 3 layers together. Open them out once they're sewn and place them wrong sides facing. Now we're going to attach the bottom front pieces. It's important that these are placed on the same place as the zip as the top pieces. So just draw a line where the top pieces meet, so where the bottom pieces are going to be in the same place. Now take the bottom front outer and place this right sides down, so it's right sides together with the zip, matching those points so that you know that the bottom front is sewn in the same place as the top front. Pin it together, then tack this together in the same way as you did the top front, and also then sew the lining piece as well. Once you've sewn the outer and the lining of the front outer, the bottom outer, then open them out, place them wrong sides facing in the same way as before and press. Then top stitch along the top edge of the top front and the bottom. Attaching the tab. Take the pouch tab and fold it in half lengthways with right sides facing. Then pin it together so that those raw edges meet and stitch together just down the length. Once that's done, turn it right sides out and press so the seam runs down the centre of the back edge. Now take your joined pouch outers and the zip and open the zip so it's halfway between the two. Now stitch across those zip ends close to the circle edge just to secure them. Take the tab and fold it in half so the short ends meet and pin them together. Now place this on top of the zip teeth so that the end of the zip tab extends beyond the edge of the circle by 1/4 inch. You can mark this on the zip so you know where it is. This makes the tab more secure. So place the tab on top and stitch into place. It will sit right on top of the zip teeth at this stage. Stitch it into place along there. Now your tab is firmly attached and extending 1/4 inch beyond the edge. Assembling the pouch. Place the pouch back outer and the pouch back lining wrong sides facing, making sure the raw edges on the edge of the circle all match up and pin together. Now place these pouch back pieces right sides together with the lining with the zip so that the outer pieces are facing each other and the lining pieces are on the outsides. Now pin it together. You've got 4 layers here. Pin them together all the way round, making sure the raw edges of the circle meet up as you go. Just move them around a little bit and adjust them so that the raw circle edges meet up. They're all the same size, so they'll meet up exactly. You'll leave the long ends of the zip in place at this stage. Now stitch together all the way around using the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once this is done, we're going to create a French seam in the same way as we did with the Shopaway bag. So trim the seam allowance in half so it's about 1/8 inch wide. Starting on one side, maybe just at the top, trim the seam allowance all the way round. When you reach the end of the zip, the one that doesn't have the tab on it, you can just cut that off. Just cut straight through the zip. Again, so that everything is 1/8 inch wide so that we can create that French seam. Continue cutting all the way around until you reach the tab. The tab is the one piece that you're not going to trim off because you need it to be extra secure, as that will have the split ring hanging on it. So just slide your scissors underneath so that the zip is trimmed to the 1/8 of an inch wide. Leave the tab so it's still sticking out by 1/4 of an inch. We'll trim this later. And then just trim that top piece of fabric so the whole seam is 1/8 of an inch wide except for the tab, which we'll just leave in place for now. Once you've done that, you can open up the pouch so it's right sides out. So you'll need to open the zip a little bit further so that you can open it out. And then open it all out, and now your circular pouch is right sides out. So it's important that those seams lay right on the very edge so that you can create that nice seamed look, and all of those raw edges that we've just trimmed will be encased inside the next seam. It will help here if you use a turning tool, like a small stick or something that's not too sharp but pointed, and run it along the seam all the way around, and that will push the seam so it lays right on the edge. You can close the zip a little bit and give it a good press just to make sure the seam's on the edge. Now stitch all the way around the edge, again using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And it will look like this. So all of those raw edges are encased except for the end of the zip tab. So just open it out a little bit and trim the ends of that off. By having this enclosed in the 2 seams, it will give the zip tab a little extra strength, which we'll need to make it secure. So if you look inside, you can see now all the rail edges are enclosed and you've got a nice circular pouch. Take a split ring, the sort of thing you get on the end of a key ring, and push that through the tab, and your circular pouch is now complete. So you can keep all your little bits and pieces inside. Make the other circular pouch in exactly the same way, then you have a pair of circular pouches to match your Christmas Shopaway bag.